Howdy. All right, so let's talk about. I got a lot to talk about, guys. I got a lot to talk about. Um, First off, we have blown so many accounts, so many accounts. And I think that I've kind of realized something. I know. Starting off the video with a realization. What's new? I think that there's this. The money is getting to me. It's really getting to me. It's getting to me. Oh, hold on. Transform, fit to screen. Okay. So I think that the money is getting to me. I think that, and not in the sense that I want it. It doesn't matter how it's getting to me. It's just affecting my trading. And I think what I'm going to start doing is just taking the edge off. That's it. I think that I'm going to start buying. I'm going to start setting aside like 70 to $100 a week to start buying evals. Cat. To start buying evals so that I can have an eval every fucking week. So that I can blow a fucking eval every fucking week of the goddamn year. This way, I'm not blowing money. I'm not blowing crazy money like I did by buying those 2 Lightning accounts. And it's taking the edge off. We're not trading with real money. And I think that, I think that that's the key. I think that I need to take the edge off here. I think that trading with money has really fucked with my psychology. I think that it fucked with my psychology on that eval, that first eval that I ever passed. It fucked it because I had the opportunity to make money. And then now that I'm actually trading with real money, it's screwing with me. It is just screwing with me. Freak. What else do I say? I've got a lot of videos on the backlog ready to upload, but I think they're shit. I think that they are kind of buns, if you ask me. So anyway, I am gonna go to work today. I'm gonna set myself a budget. I'm gonna put $300 into my savings. I'm gonna set 70 aside, and I'm gonna fucking blow this account tomorrow. And I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm not gonna blow it on purpose. I'm gonna try and take good trades tomorrow. But actually, I might not trade tomorrow. I might take tomorrow off, just because of how bad the news is. Anyway, I really think that if I need to take this edge off somehow. This is how I'm planning on doing it, by setting aside $70 a week plus the 300 to my savings. If I can do that, if I can save $370 a week and then spend the rest on whatever it is, if I, aggressively save, I'll be making money. I'll be adding money to the savings account, and I'll be still able to trade. And it won't be this thing where it's like I'm like, oh, I'm so broke. Oh, I'm doing this. Because I'm going to see the bank account going up, I'm going to see that number going up. I'm going to see all that stuff going up. I've got some cash, which is nice, so that I don't have to spend on the bank account. But, all right, that was a lot of rambling. But basically, essentially, the money is 1,000,000% screwing with my trading. So I need to take the edge off. We need to take this edge off so that we're able to take really good trades. Next, I'd like to talk about is I think I am developing a strategy. Yay! Like a real strategy, not just ICT trading concepts. I went over it in one of my videos that I recorded, and it was like, oh, that's cringe. But, whatever. So I'll go over to... Don't ignore that. Just ignore that. We'll go on here. So today we took a trade based off of our setup. So today we took a bunch of trades. We definitely fed the mammalian brain. We definitely, did a lot of crap today. we did take bad trades today. But the one trade based off my setup was very good. So let me go into it. Essentially, what my strategy is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. How does it work? How do we have this strategy? Well, on this strategy, let me just do this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so this is the strategy. Essentially what it is we have our accumulation phase. We have our manipulation phase. And we have our distribution phase, with this in between being the retest. So it's more so accumulation, manipulation, retest, distribution. So how does it work? How does my strategy work? Essentially, what we do is from like here till like here, this is going to be anywhere from the close. So this is going to be London session. So anywhere from here, all of this time, this could all be London session. It does not matter. Anywhere within this time frame to, let's just do this. Anywhere within this time frame, this is what we consider London session, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to accumulate somewhat. We're going to accumulate somewhat in from London session all the way up until 9:30. Okay? 9:30 hits and we start to manipulate. Once the 9:30 time frame hits, usually around 10 o'clock, is when we're going to hit some sort of key level. Okay? Here, I've marked out a key level as this this high area of liquidity. Maybe this is like London session high or something like that. We'll just say London high. Let's just say that that's London high, right? We're manipulating out of this range to a high key level of reversal. Whether that's maybe let's say, we didn't hit this London high, but this is a 4-hour fair value gap here. Let's just say that that's that. Okay, we're trading into this fair value gap. We're seeing that we're tapping into it a lot. We've broken past this range. We've tapped into this fair value gap, but we failed to inverse it. We've inversed fair value gaps to the downside. We've retested, and then we enter here. This is our entry right here. Oops. So that's our entry, right? Essentially what it is accumulation. Hold on. This is so messy. This is so messy. So, and let's just get rid of these boxes because you now know. So, from London session on, all the way up from the close of London session till 9:30, we're usually going to accumulate. We'll get some sort of movement in either direction. It doesn't really matter. But what's going to happen, right? Actually, I'm going to put this right here because sometimes this happens. I'll tell you anyway. So what do we see here? We see accumulation. We see manipulation to a high key reversal point. I am gonna, okay, don't get confused by this. I'm gonna put New York high here just because I like this color. Yeah, I really like, for the horizontal relay, I like the purple. I think it goes well with my colors. Anyway, we come up to a high time frame, key level, whatever reversal point. Okay, out of the accumulation. That's the very, very, very key. Because when we are accumulating, when we are going flat, the market is building for something. Okay, it's building to go in a certain direction, and that's what it's doing. It's building to hit this New York high, or we'll just say it's a New York high. We'll just say this is another day. No, this has to be a London high. This has to be a London high. Anyway, we hit the London high. We reverse past that high. And then we close. This is also very important. We close. Oh my God. Don't worry about it, okay? Delete. Okay. Oh my Lord. We close below the accumulation range. We displace far beyond the last low to the high that takes out the high time frame liquidity. Or in this case, like if we're in a downtrend, same thing. We need to close below this low. We need to close below this low. This is confirming that we are breaking structure. This is confirming that orders were filled. But there's one more step that we have to wait for. We have to wait for the retest. Because as we all know, trends don't last forever. We could have accumulated to manipulate, to distribute to this low, just to keep going higher. Just to take out this range to go higher. And then you're asking yourself, what do you do if that happens? I don't trade. I don't trade at all. I am only going to be taking trades based off of this model. This is the only model that I will be trading for the rest of my life. Okay? I don't care if we come up and we go here. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care for shit. I'm not entering. I don't care. It's not my setup. It's not my thing. And this will inherently make it so that I trade less, but that is exactly what we need to do. And usually this doesn't happen. And if this doesn't, and let's say this happens, who wants to trade this? Who wants to trade this flat ass shit? If we come back up to this high, we're going to get a reaction off of this high to just keep like barely chopping up. And now we've created a bunch of LR below. And oh wait, now we've manipulated to this high. Oh, now we can take it here. I'd rather just wait for us to hit that high level again, accumulate, manipulate this high, this range high, and then go down. See, with this model, there is a lot of discretion, which I love. I love that I'm able to add discretion to this because let's just say, right, we don't hit this high. We don't hit this London high. However, we take out the range high. These are unprotected. Let's put that one there. Let's just say we take out all these draws on liquidity, okay? This discretionary model is very nice. Okay, so say we go to this low. We would target this low. So, what's going on here? We didn't hit the London high. However, this is where the discretion comes in. Okay, let's say that we're in a downtrend. Let's just say, oh my Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay, let's just say that we're in a higher time frame downtrend. Okay, and we're coming up to these. We hit this internal high that sort of breaks structure past this high. You know, all that stuff, and we're ranging from here. This is technically a range still. This is still technically a range, right? Up until this point. And let me get back to my point. Let's say we don't hit this London high. let's say we just come up and fill all of this area of liquidity. We take out this LR. We take out all this LR here. And now I can be like, okay, we're in a downtrend. We've just swept lows. We've just accumulated. This is a big candle in comparison to the rest of these. On top of that fact that around here, things are getting real wicky. You know, we're not really, you know, these bodies aren't very, these candles aren't really closing at the highest of their range. We're in a downtrend. Yes, we haven't hit this major high, but we've taken out this liquidity. It might be enough for us to spend lower. And oh my gosh, we just displaced lower. Okay, let's wait for the retest. Okay, we just came up. We just respected a 5-minute fair value gap. Anything up to the 5-minute. I'll take 1 minute. I'll take 2 minutes. I'll take 3 minutes. I'll take 5. But actually, 1 minutes are, you know, 2 minutes are better. 3 minutes are great. I actually do really like the 3-minute retracement. 5-minute is amazing. 5 minutes perfect. 10 minutes, wait, takes way too long. But, it's discretion, man. And that's what I love about this strategy. It's like everybody knows about accumulation, manipulation, distribution. If I mix that with the ICT trading concepts, if I mix that with discretion, if I do all those things and I only ever take trades after we accumulate, after we manipulate, and after we displace below this low, then that would have been perfect. Then those are the trades that I want to take all day, and I don't care if I end up getting stopped out. So, ooh, wow, bam, 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 bam. So that's the model, man. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This, man. This right here. That's the model, bro. That's the fucking model. Right there. The best is when we hit a higher time frame key level here. Or no, I don't want that one there. You know, the best is when we hit a high time frame or just really any liquidity that I seem is probable that we can have a reversal point off and is, you know, outside of this range. If we sweep something outside of the range, that's really nice. That is really nice to me. Because this could just be another, you know, if we didn't hit up this range, we could just keep chopping around here. So, you know, this is the early stages of the strategy. It is not set in stone yet. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to take trades based off of the range or if I'm going to strictly stick to, waiting for liquidity outside of this range. However, I kind of don't want to. I kind of think that the best part of this strategy is the discretion, right? But anyway, let's go into today's trade. So today I just played around on the charts. How much did I lose in my trade sinker? Yeah, we lost a lot. We blew an account. We blew 2 accounts today. And we hit the daily stop on that one. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm taking the edge off. It was a dumb idea to buy those it was really dumb to buy those lightnings. I'll admit that was a dumb idea. I even said that it was going to be a dumb idea when I did it. But yeah, sorry. Let's get into today's trade. What did we see? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. We came up. Why did I go in here? I don't think... No, I took a sell here. Why isn't that showing up on the... Oh, okay, no, yeah. Bad trade today. But it's the first steps. It's like, you know, we're heading into the model. Anyway, so we took a long here based off the fact that we accumulated, we manipulated, and we started to distribute. So we closed above the range here. We got the retest. We got closures above. This is, honestly, not mad about this trade at all. Ended up getting stopped out fully here, unfortunately. But like I said, dude, like, this trade, this is my model, bro. This is my model. We come down to this area of liquidity. I wanted to target this 30-minute. There's a 30-minute fair value gap up here. I think it's around here or something. I'm not going to go on the 30-minute. I don't care. But yeah, we take it. What I really liked today was the actual trade that I took. Got in way late. However, fits the model. Oh my God, does it fit the model? What do we see? We see that we range. We see that we manipulate. We see that we distribute. We fail to distribute. Okay, that's fine. What's next? I think we're going to short. Okay, we've just ranged. This is a range. I'm considering this a range. This is definitely a range. What are we doing? We are... We accumulate, we manipulate to these highs and this 5-minute fair value gap. See it right there. We get strong bodies down. And also, I would consider this a range, okay? The fact that we have doji candle, not really a doji candle. This is technically a doji candle, but long wicks. This is what accumulation is. It is long wicks. Not really moving, closing and opening in the same spots relatively. So what do we see? We come down, we manipulate these highs, we distribute down, we retest the level, and we go down, we break structure. Blaze, why didn't you get in here? Blaze, why didn't you enter here? Because of the wicks. Because we get a wiki candle here and a wiki candle here, and this comes up above this high. It's not really looking great. I'm thinking, no. We're not really displacing below this low. We're not really, you know, all of that stuff. It's like, what? It's kind of like, It's kind of like, to me. Wait for the second retest. Get a really nice closure down. Inverse this fair value gap. Break structure here. You know, all that stuff. This would have been the best trade of today. No. This would not have been the best trade today. The best trade today would have been something different. But this, as you can see, I got in here way late because I'm still dealing with the fear and uncertainty monster, which is okay because I'm recognizing it and getting better at it. You know, I definitely should have went on off this candle. I definitely think that shorting here is just the best possible ideal. This would have been a perfect trade. Would have freaking bottom ticked it. And yeah, targeting this intermediate low. So, however, what's the best trade we could have taken today? What is really the best trade that we could have taken today? It was a long, obviously, right? What do we see? We see that we accumulate, right? We're accumulating here. This isn't necessarily accumulation. This is manipulation. But at the same time, it's within this range, sort of, like from here all the way up to here. It's like not really displacing. We're not really closing below this low. We did close below this low, but then we got a reaction straight after it. You know, I would honestly consider from here all the way to here just a range. Honestly, I would consider this a range. I know this right here is definitely not a range. It is definitely manipulation. However, it's like, Okay, are we really, like, is this really displacing? If we go on the 5 minute, are we really, like, we are, it isn't really, it is definitely manipulation, but it's manipulation to the downside. This is all manipulation right here, all the way up to this candle right here. This is our range from, like I said, London close till open. We get our manipulation down to a key level. Like I said, this low. This is like if we're going on the 5 minute, if we're standing far away from our screen, what's the low that we see? We see this low. It is in this range. However, it's like it's the highest probability low within this entire leg, right? Partly because it's unprotected, partly because of whatever. Anyway, what do we see? We see accumulation. We manipulate to this low to get a distribution above. Where would we have gone in if we were to take this long today? So going through my mind, I would have been like, okay, we're accumulating. We're just manipulating the crap out of this session right now. Now we're getting some strong candles. These two candles, I think they're literally the biggest candles in the entirety of the market. We hit this 5 minute, we get a retest out of it to come back into this fair value gap here, which we've already hit and we've already taken out the orders, but we're still coming into the fair value gap or the support zone or whatever you want to call it. We then break out of it, right? And then we distribute. We get an accumulation leg here. But again, I mean, we can go over this model again. What are we doing here? We are accumulating the tiniest little bit of manipulation, but yet we're coming into, what is this, a 5 minute? No, it's a 3 minute. No, it's a 2 minute. Yeah, so we're coming into this 2 minute. We're sweeping out these lows. We've got LR resting above. This is the accumulation. This is the manipulation. This candle is the manipulation. This is the retest. That's the long. Or honestly, probably would have longed here after we retest this, get some breaks of structure out. You long here, stops at these lows, getting your 2 to 1, having a great day. Doing great. You know, all of that crap. It's like, so that would have been the best trade today, is if we see the accumulation phase here. All the way from London open, we accumulate. Or from London close, we just, oh my lord. We accumulate all the way up until 9:30. We're manipulating, we're manipulating, we're manipulating, but slowly going down. These wicks are really wicky. They're looking really scary. We hit this level. We get a nice, strong body. We get a retest with this. We get another nice, strong body. And I probably, if I had to, this isn't, if I were to take this long, I don't know. There's really two entries on this long. It's after we close above this high or after we close above this high right here. These are the two entries that I see. The best one probably, and honestly, at this point, I probably would have had my 1-to-1. I probably would have had my 1-to-1 here. I would have had my break even at this purple line. I would have taken everything except for one contract. Then I would have had my runner. Set my stops, break even. Who cares if it loses? But yeah, that's the strategy. I think you can tell right now it's very sloppy. It's very messy. But I kind of want to leave it open, not like, I want, sorry. Oh my lord. Okay, I want to keep this model discretionary, but at the same time, I want to have it like where how do I say this? I want it discretionary, but at the same time, I want it to be, I don't know what to say. I want it to be discretionary, but at the same time, I want it to be, oh, what time is it? I want it to be, I want it to have a rule set, and I want it to follow that rule set in a technical analysis sort of way. You know, if maybe hitting those major areas of liquidity outside of the range is exactly how we're going to do that. Maybe. I'm still, you know, we're going to work on this strategy. We're going to refine this strategy, but I really think that this is going to work. I think that this strategy is really good. I've noticed this. I've noticed that every single New York session, we get some accumulation, some manipulation, and some distribution. I think that every fucking strategy on planet Earth is some form of that. At least within the ICT trading concepts circle, the inner circle trader. You know, within that circle, I think that it really is just accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Because, I mean, I think that, like, it's like, I'm not a pattern trader. I'm not a retail trader. But I think that a lot of retail trader concepts, like, they work. They do work, but they only work within context. They only work with, like, for a reason. Like why does a head and shoulders pattern work? Why does a head and shoulders pattern work? Because it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution, bro. Because we're generating liquidity with this high. We're sweeping out that... What the hell? We're generating liquidity with this high. We are generating liquidity with this high. We are sweeping out the liquidity with momentum. We are displacing below this low. We are retesting a level or filling leftover orders with inside a fair value gap. Then we are distributing down. It's like, why does a head and shoulders pattern work? Why does a bear, or what is it? I think this is called like a bear flag or whatever. I don't care what it is. I don't use these goddamn bullshit concepts. But why is it that when we have this pattern, why is it that when we come to this low, we get a reaction and we fill all these highs? Because we're hitting a major area of liquidity and we have LR above. It's like, this is a bull flag. This is a head and shoulders pattern. This is, what else is there? There's the H pattern, right? I forget the name of it. I think it's like an H pattern. Hey. Well, why does the H pattern work? Because we just hit a bunch of LR below. We just hit a major area of liquidity below. And we're going up to fill up this liquidity. Okay, we just got a retest. Oh, we have leftover orders here. Also, this is a high. We're going to want to hit this high. You know, this is an H pattern. And a lot of people think that an H pattern means that we're going to go downwards. And then maybe that's true. If we're in a downtrend, right? If this looks like this way over here, it's like it makes sense that we're going to go down. However, if we're if we're in an uptrend, oh my God. If we're freaking in an uptrend and we have our H pattern, right? And we come and we sweep out this LR and we retest this level and we respect the fair value gap, chances are we're going to hit this high. It's like, why do these patterns work? Why do the H patterns work? Why do the head and shoulders pattern work? Why do the bear flags work? Why do they work? They work for a reason. People have made money based off of these patterns before for a reason. But like, what's the actual science behind it? Why? Why do we like chop around here? Why do we go to this low and then take out all this LR above? Why is that? Because why do we have this bear flag? Why is it that when we have this bear flag and we get the longest down, people just start buying? Why is that? Because we're filling orders here, dude, and we have LR above. Why does this H pattern? I think actually H patterns signify that we're gonna go down? I'm not exactly sure. I think this is what an H pattern is. Like this. But it's the same thing. It's like, why does this work? Oh, okay. Because maybe we just hit maybe we hit a London high with this high. We displaced down. We got a retest. We closed below the previous low. We've retested again. We've inversed a fair value gap this time. We've got an actual displacement. Oh, okay. Now I understand the science behind why these things are happening. Now I understand why is it that an H pattern works? Why is it that this H pattern worked and this H pattern failed? Why is it that this head and shoulders pattern worked and this head and shoulders pattern failed? Why? What is the difference between this head and shoulders What's the difference between this head? Actually, we should just do that. What's the difference between these two head and shoulders patterns? What's the difference, class? We displaced below this low. We closed below this low. Maybe on the line chart, this is what this looks like because you idiot retail traders are using freaking line charts, right? Maybe we did hit this low. But oh wait. Oh, is it a head and shoulders pattern? Or are we just coming up, retesting levels to sweep lows to retest? Let me say that again. Let's maybe this head and shoulders pattern didn't work because we're in a freaking uptrend. Because we just happened to make a higher high. We didn't really displace past this low. We actually just swept liquidity, and now we've hit a fair value gap, a 5-minute or a 10-minute that's making us retrace back. And oh my gosh, we're hitting all these stops that these idiot retail traders are trading with. Oh my God, I am being very sloppy right now. We're hitting all these stops below here that all these retail trader idiots are taking longs off of because we just hit this one low. We just hit our support level or whatever, right? No. I'm not entering here. I'm not entering here either. I'm entering like here. Why am I entering here? Because I see, oh my Lord. Because I see that we are in an uptrend. I see that we are coming down to sweep liquidity, and we've just inversed a fair value gap. We just retested another fair value gap, and we respected it. Now we're going out. Now we're hitting this high. I'm targeting this high. And it's like, why does this head and shoulders pattern work? Well, let's use some freaking context. Maybe we're in a freaking downtrend, and we just swept a major high within our downtrend. Oh, okay. Or we just accumulated. We just accumulated. We just manipulated to this high. We just distributed closing below this low, and we just retest into a fair value gap, and respected it and got closures out of it. And we happened to hop on the 1 minute, and there's some wicks here, some bullish wicks that were closing below. Okay, now we can enter here. Yeah, it's nice. It's really awesome and makes you feel like a boss gamer when you enter here and you take a short here and you're catching the top. My cat's going crazy right now. What the fuck? Craig? How many videos has this motherfucker interrupted? I think for today, I'm gonna just make this YouTube video and just upload this one. And I'm gonna make, like, the craziest thumbnail ever. I'm gonna be like, how much did I lose today? Losing $2,500. We made $500 on the trade that we ended up taking today, by the way. Oh my God. We ended up making, like, I think it was like $500 off of this short here. And I know you're saying there's no way you made $500 on this short, but I did, because I had a lot of freaking conviction in it, because it's my freaking strategy, and I freaking, wanted to make some cash and prove myself right, and I did. Unfortunately, I forgot to tell you all this. I put a limit order here instead of a take profit. I set a short limit order here instead of a take profit, like a dummy. Let's make sure I don't have any more. But it's like, okay, I don't have any more orders. Good. But it's like, bro, I see this everywhere. I see this freaking everywhere. This is accumulation. We're manipulating to this lows. We're tapping into a 2-minute fair value gap. We're displacing above this high. We're getting a retest. Actually, now that I think about it, I definitely would have entered into a long here. Definitely, like right here. I probably would have entered a long here. Stops above this low. Or not above. Just at that low. Would have set my 2-to-1. I probably would have had 4 contracts on this move. I would have had my break even here. So we would have set break even. We would have taken one of the contracts off at this 1-to-1. We would have or should I set 2 contracts? That's another thing that I'm thinking about, is the execution. I think that there's 3 things that I really need to get good at to become a profitable trader. That's the strategy, this accumulation, manipulation, distribution strategy. It's the execution and the fact of when you're taking profits, how much your position size is, and all that stuff, and the psychology part of it. How well are you sticking to your rules? So I think that, like, this week is over. This week is done. We're not going to be trading. I'll probably trade tomorrow. I'll probably blow that account tomorrow. I got one more account to blow, so that'll be fun. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just test this strategy. I'm just going to have a rule set. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to have a fixed risk amount. And that's it. And we're just going to go off of that. I think that, so with the strategy rules, let's just say I'm only going to take a trade if we accumulate, we manipulate to a high time frame reversal point, not just with inside the range. And I'm only going to take trades off that reset. If it just happens up pumping, it sucks. It is what it is. But like today, I think this long would have been so juicy, man. It would have been so juicy. Like If you longed here, bro, after we go up here, bro, you would have been in a lot of hurt because it's the end of the session. But honestly, like, right here is when I want to take my trade, bro. You know, this is when the setup presented itself. And honestly, I don't know. I actually think that the trade that I took today, this leg right here, that's the best. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know, bro. How would I set this? Yeah, I think that today, along off of, maybe we get like a 2-minute closure above. Yeah, honestly, right here, stops at this low, break even at this high. You know, setting our 2-to-1. Oh my lord. Setting the 2-to-1 with a smack take profit. You know, I don't know. Is this a retest? Oh, it is. Oh, it's a beautiful retest. Yeah. No, this is a beautiful retest. We retested on the 5-minute. I mean, what do we... Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. You might be looking at me and thinking that I'm going insane. Because I'm blowing accounts left and right. And all of that stuff. And I think... I have this feeling that, you know, this first year that I'm trading, it's just going to be a whole bunch of research and development and losing and, you know, all of that crap and learning. You know, it's not going to be a whole lot of, like, on-paper gains, but it's going to be, like, how do I say that? It's going to be, like, it's going to set myself up for my future. You know, I think that until I'm 24, I don't know why, I just have this number 24 in my head. I really think that if I spend the next 2 years uncomfortable, losing, failing, but yet still understanding, like I'm doing now, I'm failing, I'm losing, I'm blowing accounts, I'm spending a lot of money, but I'm developed strategy. I know RCT trading concepts now. I'm getting into it. If I look back on the first few videos that I ever made on this channel, and I'm a fucking moron. I have no idea what I was doing. And I'm sure that in a year or two, I'm going to look back on these videos and be like, you have no fucking clue what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing, don't you? But I think that I'm like getting steps. I'm taking steps. The steps back, you know, they feel worse. The being in drawdown is going to hurt more than hitting take profit will feel good. If that makes sense. You know, and if you get bogged down in this loss, in this, all this crap, you're just going to screw yourself over for the future. So, what am I going to do about it? I'm not just going to push through. I'm not just going to keep buying Lightning accounts. I'm not going to try and take these failed funded accounts to somewhere where they could go. I am going to take the edge off. I'm going to spend... I will never, ever, ever, ever buy another funded account under or above $100. $100 is my max. I will buy one for $100, but I'm going to try and look for one cheaper. Honestly, anything above 80 to 90, I feel like you can find a cheaper funded account than that. So that's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to start setting money aside, putting it into my savings so that I'm getting this, so that I'm not worried about, like, I'm not progressing actually in life. You know, I'll actually have money in the account, in the bank account. And on top of the fact, if I want to take this edge off of trading, this this money thing. You know, I don't think that I'm in a place right now where the money's not going to affect me. And I think that the way to do that is to spend the next year and get to a place where you have made some money, where you have taken some payouts, where you feel, okay, if I just locked myself in a box, I didn't leave Rhode Island, I quit my job, which is hard to say because I'm actually starting to like this job now. If I get myself in a place where I can just put myself in a box, where I can just laser focus so that I can just stay locked in, if I've spent some time and had a realization that if I stick to this strategy and I stick to my rules, I'm going to make money, then you can get locked in and just, you know, make profits. That's my goal right now. That's my big goal right now, is to get myself into a place where I can put myself in a box, where I don't leave Rhode Island, where I don't go to work, where I'm only really going to the gym and spending time with my partner, and every other waking moment is spent on trading. I want to do that right now, but I'm not in the place where I can be. So, build some money. Put some money into the savings account. Build yourself a buffer, an IRL freaking buffer, so that you can, you know, get into that box. And on top of the fact, have the confidence with every previous trade you've ever taken of being like, okay, I have this strategy. I have all this stuff. I'm really like all that stuff. Yeah, that's the goal, is to get into a box. And, what else should I say? What should we title this video? I'm thinking trade recap. What is it, like 38 now? Trade recap 38, taking the edge off. I think that's a good. Oh my gosh. I think that's a good. All right, boys, whip them out. I think that's a really good spot to be in right now. I think that, you know, I just got to take the edge off and get myself to a point where I can lose and lose and lose and lose and lose, and it's not going to be that much money. I think that paper trading is not the best idea for me right now. I think that putting some skin in the game is going to help, you know, with my mental in the future. You know, if I just paper trade from now until whenever, I'm not gonna be facing that uncertainty monster. I wanna face the uncertainty monster a little bit, but when it's actually in real money, it just takes over. And I'm sorry, you know, that is a total bitch move, and it is a total bitch thing to say. But when fuck. Accumulation. All right, whatever. Just trying to show my strategy on this crap. What else did I say? I don't think there is much to say. Yeah, dude, I really think that if I just stick to this model, stick to my rules, stick to all that crap, I'm gonna, you know, do great. I think tomorrow I'm gonna hop on the charts and I'm gonna blow the fuck out of this account. I'm gonna, you know, take a trade that's based off of my model and based off of my discretion, but I'm gonna go into the market tomorrow being like, I'm gonna blow this account. Well, actually, I think that's a bad idea. Tomorrow I'm gonna take a trade that follows my rules perfectly. I'm gonna buy a new funded account that's $70 fucking dollars. Lucid is doing 50% off right now. There's like a billion different codes to get 50% off their 50K, their 50K select accounts, I think it is. But yeah, I'm gonna buy that new account if I can set aside some money, which I'm pretty sure I can. Hopefully this new paycheck isn't gonna be buns. I don't think it will be. I think I'm gonna get a good paycheck this time. Anyway, gonna put 300 in the account. Gonna put 70 aside. Gonna you know, yeah, that's about it, man. Taking the edge off of trading so that I can focus on the process, so that I can build healthy habits now, so that I can become a profitable trader later. You know, if I become a profitable trader today, I am going to be a worse trader if I become a profitable trader in 2 years after a bunch of headache and after a bunch of learning and after all that crap. I really think so. I think that, like, well, I don't know. But I think that, like, I have a plan. Essentially, I'm not goated at trading. Really thought that, passing my first funded really meant that I was the GOAT, doing all that stuff. But I'm not. I'm not the GOAT, guys. Sorry. Not the #1 trader in the world. I'm not the next ICT. I'm not the next Dodgy or TJR. I'm just Blaze DiMarzio, man. And Blaze DiMarzio, he's going to start... oh my gosh. I knew there was still something up. This video is an hour long. Oh well. I am putting way too much focus on trading. What's happening is the only thing that's on my mind right now is trading. Thinking about the charts, thinking about making money, thinking about getting that payout, all that stuff. And it's like, I think that my head is in the wrong spot. Everybody knows that if you become a profitable day trader and you remove yourself from the money, money will become a byproduct of being a profitable day trader. But I'm going to take that a step further. Okay? On January 1st, 2026, I made a decision to change my life. To take action. To become the future version of myself that I knew I could become. And I think that from then until now, I had my head in a good spot, but I've started to lose, the direction. I've started to lose focus on what I need to actually be focusing on, and that's becoming the future version of myself I know I can become. And I know, sorry, the freaking cat, chill. I know that if I become the future version of myself, becoming a profitable day trader will be a byproduct of that. And a byproduct of that will be making money. So it's so far down the line that I don't care. That I am just going to spend every day getting 1% better at not trading, at not just trading, at not just working out, and not all of these things. I'm going to be focusing on getting 1% better at becoming the future version of myself. And I know if I can do that, if I can stay locked in on staying calm, cool, collected, on maintaining discipline, impartiality, and patience, if I rely on discipline and not motivation, but yet when motivation comes, I use it to my ability. I think that motivation comes and it goes in waves, and discipline will be there forever as long as you make the decision to do that. But if motivation's there, man, use it. Anyway, I think that, like, oh my lord. I think that, like, I'm going crazy. I am so uncomfortable. I am so frustrated. And I'm so all of these things. But yet I think that's exactly where I need to be. I think that if I'm uncomfortable for the next year, but yet I am locked in and I am calm, if I am uncomfortable but yet calm, I will be in a very good spot. Because I'll be uncomfortable because I'm losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. But if I'm calm, I'm going to have the recognition to realize and learn from those losses so that when I'm 24, all of those losses will be, tools that I can use. And that's actually, I'm going to rename this video. It's going to be something about the future version of myself. Something like I don't know. I'll think about it. Yeah, man, I'm gonna end this video here. It has been an hour, about just on the dot, an hour and 36 minutes into this video, so we definitely need to end it. But like I said, I had a lot to say today. Yeah, I did a lot of crazy crap these last couple of weeks. That's another thing that I've seen. I'm doing so much shit. I'm growing so much each week. And I think if I stay locked in on trying to become the future version of myself, it's going to be an exponential thing. So right now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to become the future version of myself? Well, I'm going to upload this video because that's part of, the trade journal and all that stuff. I think that I am going to make a new Excel file to make a new trade journal. I think that, I'm just going to work. Just try and get 1% better. That's all I'm going to do. Is I'm going to try and get 1% better. Nah, I'm going to name this video Taking the Edge Off. Anyway, I will see y'all later. Okay. If anybody sees this fucking video, and I am a profitable day trader, and I'm rolling in cash, and I've got my restaurant, and all of that stuff, and you see this part of the video, the very end of an hour-long video on a channel with 0 subscribers, if you see this video, DM this Instagram account, okay? DM me that you saw this video. DM me that you said, I stayed till the hour, keyword, you versus you. Okay, if you type me, hey, I saw the end of your video, trade recap, whatever number this is, you said that if I waited till this video, I'll give you $1,000 fucking dollars. But I have to be rolling in cash. I have to be making money. Because I'm not gonna give you $1,000 right now. Don't be stupid. But if you skimmed through all of my freaking videos, you ended up on this video, and you watched the entirety of the thing, I'll give you $1,000 because that's insane. That would make me so happy that you saw that, and it would fill my satisfaction tax, and I would like to fill your satisfaction tax. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here, guys. It's getting way too long. Peace out, guys. Love ya.